Hello guys, welcome to Bugs in Code, and the problem that I'm going to solve is string compression problem. So this problem is present at LeetCode and I'm going to provide the link in the description box. But before that, if you are new here and a person who likes stuff related to coding, then subscribe my channel Bugs in Code so that you never miss out an update. So let's get started. Here's the problem statement, and it says that given an array of characters, okay, compress it using the following algorithm. The algorithm says that begin with empty string s for each group of consecutive repeating characters in chars. If the group is length 1, then append the character to s. Otherwise, append the character followed by group's length. Okay. The compressed string s should not be written separately, but instead be stored in the input array. Okay. Note that the group length that are 10 or longer will be split up into multiple characters in chars. After you are done, modify the input array, return the new length of the array. Okay, you must write the algorithm that uses constant extra space. Okay, one example is also given here, so let me just explain the example. Let me write the example, and example is I'm given an array uh, which have like a, B, B, C, C, and C. Now, according to the compression algorithm which is given here, what we are going to do is we are going to count the consecutive repeating characters. Like for this A, the count is 2. So I'm going to write, since 2 is something which is greater than 1, so I'm going to write A2. After that, I have B here, which is occurring 2 times. So I'm going to write the current character B and the count which is 2, as said in the problem statement. Okay, so for this I have C and 3, so I'm going to write C and 3. The length of this string, so this is the compressed string, and the length of this string is something which is equal to 6, so I'm going to return 6. But along with this 6, I also need to modify in the input array. So now my input array will become something like A2, B2, C3. The value till here are changed, and after that I will have this value as it is C. So this will be your input array, and output, like input length will be of 6. Like the output is going to check the character to 6 length. So this is going to be our output. Now I hope you guys are clear with the problem statement, and let me just move to the solution now. Okay, so I'm going to take the same input array here again. So the input array is like I have input array. So this input array is having a a a. Okay, actually it's a b b c c and c. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a starting index, so I will call it st, which is initially equal to 0. And now I'm going to iterate this whole string, like I'm going to iterate this whole string, and what I'm going to do is for the current character I will count the consecutive occurrence of this character. So I will, currently I'm at this index I, and I'm going to start one another pointer which is j, and j from actually I plus 1, and I'm going to count the occurrence. So initially it is 1, and we have one more character, so my count is going to be 2. So for the first iteration I will have my current character, so I will have my current character as a and my count as 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this count somewhere in this array, but where? So I'm going to store this count at the starting index. Starting index is currently 0, so I'm going to store here a, and now I'm going to increase this index so it will become 1, and now at 1 I'm going to store the count 2, so this value. Now what I will do is I will increase this index now, and now the start st is pointing to this value like b. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the I pointer at this index. So this is our b, and now I will what I will do is I will repeat the same process for b, and now this b uh, will have a count of 2. So by doing the same process like starting j from I plus 1 and checking till we have the previous character same as the current character. So by doing this we will have current as b and count as 2. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this b at this starting index. So starting index is currently 2 and I'm going to store b here, and now starting index will become 3. At 3 I'm going to store 2 because 2 is the count, and after that I'm going to increase my starting index. So now my starting index is pointing to this value, and increase the value of I, and now I'm at the third index, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my current character as C, and I'm going to count the continuous occurrence of C, like C is here, so the count is 3. Now I will write the count here 3, and after that what I will do is I will store the current character, like this C I will store at the starting index which is 4, and I will increase my index after that, and now I will store the current count at the starting index which is 5. So the st starting index is something which keeps on increasing, and at the end the starting index becomes 6, like pointing to this. But it is not just pointing, it is also something which is representing the length of this part, isn't it? So this starting index is something which I'm going to return. So I'm going to return 6, or I will say st. Why? Because st represent the length which we need to return, and now this string is something which is this array is something which is storing my current character. So you can see here a2 b2 c3. But one more case can be there which I have not ex- uh, which I have not told you, but it's very important case. Even it is mentioned in the problem that if we have group length greater than 10, what to do then? So in that case, what I'm going to do is, like, if I have A, B, then I have B, 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 and B. So this is something which is our input array. I'm going to write this example 2. So in this example, the input string, like the compressed string, which should be A2 and B, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 11, 12. So B 12. But the question is how to store this 12 when the count becomes 12. So in the first iteration, I will have current character, I will have st as 0, current character as 2, and count as the current characters as a and count as 2 for the first iteration. So I will simply store here like, let's make it a, let's make it 2, so, and let's make it 1, let's make it 2. It's simple. But when I'm at this position, and in the second iteration I will have something which is current character equals to current character equals to b here, and count is something which is equal to 12. So but the question is how to store this 12 as a character. So I cannot store 12 at this particular index. 12 is something which is not a character, 12 is a string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into characters. So like it will come 1 2, and I will store 1 here and I will store 2 here. So in order to do that, I will convert this count to string. So count to string, and after that I will traverse that string character by character, and I will increase the value of st, and then I will keep on storing character. Like for this 12, what I will do is I will start from this position, and I have 1, so I'm going to store 1 here. After that I'm going to increase my index as 3, so 0 1 2 3, uh, actually 4. After that what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this 2 at this index 0 1 2 3 4, and then I'm going to, and my I will return 5, and my compressed string will be a2 b12. So instead of saying b12 I will call it b12. Okay, now I hope you guys got the clear understanding of the problem. Let me just code it. So this is the problem statement, and what I'm going to so this is the problem on LeetCode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to code it now. Okay, so just have something which is my, okay, I'm going to have initial index and I'm going to traverse the string now equal to 0 I smaller than cast dot length, and then I will do I plus plus. After that I'm going to traverse my string, so I will have int j equal to j equal to I plus 1, and now while my j is smaller than cast dot length and case of j is double equal to current character, so I'm going to do j plus plus and count plus plus. But where is my j and like count in? First of all, I will have count equal to 1. Why count equal to 1? Because I initially am starting from I plus 1 and I will have a current character, so this current character will be something equal to current chars of I. After that, when I complete this loop, then I will surely have my count and my current character. So what I'm going to do is chars of st++ is going to have the current character, and if my count is not equal to 1, because the problem is saying that if count is not equal to 1, then uh, count is equal to 1, then do not store the count. So else I'm going to have my string count equal to string dot value of cnt, because I have to traverse from the starting, so I'm going to have a loop from 0 smaller than count dot length and x plus plus. After that I'm going to do my chars of st plus plus equals to the current number represented by count. Okay, let's do it x. After that I have to increase the value of I. Why I have to increase the value of I? Let me just show you. So if like if I'm at like for this, okay, change the color now, and like for this a and b. So if I'm done with all the character, then instead of just increasing I by 1, I have to start from this position. So I'm going to increase the value of I by j. What I'm going to do here is what I do here is I'm going to increase the value of I as I equal to j minus I minus 1. J minus I is the like factor by which I'm going to increase I. But the question is why minus 1? Minus 1 because when the for loop itself increases the value of I by 1. So instead I can do something like this. So I is going to increase by j minus I. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to like compile and run it. So before that, let me go to the code screen and just okay, but before that we also need to return the starting index. So I'm going to return st. Let's check it now. Okay, so let's see whether it works or not. So it's showing array index out of bound, but the question is why it's showing array index out of bound. What I'm going to do is like my count is equal to 1. Okay, no problem. So let's do it I plus plus, and then here do it minus. Okay, so I is something which is going to increase by this factor, and let's check now. Okay, so it's working, and let me submit this code. Let's see whether it works or not. So I think it should work. And okay, so it's working, you can see here. Okay, so it's 98% faster, and this is all about this problem. I hope you guys